What should be Real Madrid's lineup for the rest of the season? I think it's very clear and obvious that Real Madrid are struggling right now. And there's a lot of factors that play into that. But to me, one of the most important things that we should look at is the squad lineup. I think the squad depth is also an issue, but that's something we can't fix anymore. So we have to focus on the squad lineup. So here is what I think, and obviously I'm not the coach, I have no professional experience, so I don't really have a say, but this is what I think the lineup should be for the rest of the season. Okay, first, let's get the obvious out of the way. The starting goalie obviously has to be Thibaut Courtois. As much as I love Lunin, and I think he would be a starter at like 95% of the clubs in the world. Our defense has to be the defense we always have. Right back, Carvajal. Center backs, Militao and Rudiger. And then left back, Mendy. There's nothing really we can change. Maybe Alaba, but right now, in the form that Militao and Rudiger are in right now, I don't think there's any way Alaba starts over them. Next, the midfield. Now, this is a really hard choice because the way I would line up the team completely changes the midfield. And what do I mean by that? So, right now, we're playing 4-3-3. And honestly, that makes sense. Ever since I could remember, Real Madrid have played that formation. 4-3-3 is the club's default formation. So, I don't think anyone has a problem with us playing that because we've won so much using that formation, especially under Carlo Ancelotti. However, our team has obviously changed over the last decade. So that's why Carlo Ancelotti last season implemented the 4-3-1-2, and that worked perfectly for this team. However, this season he went back to our default 4-3-3, and I don't think it's working. And I think Carlo Ancelotti is starting to realize that now because he's been really critical of the way the team is playing and the way the formation is. So in my opinion, I think we should go back to the 4-3-1-2. But why do I think that? Firstly, let's look at our midfield. Our midfield right now cannot win possession, and when we have the ball, there's really no creativity to do anything. We kind of just dribble around, but those deadly passes never really happen. But I don't really blame the midfield for that. I blame the attackers. Why do I say that? So our current midfield is going to be Jude, Tchouaméni, Orca Mavinga, and Valverde. That's a solid midfield three. I would argue it's one of the best midfield threes in the world. If not one, then two. But one thing it lacks is those deadly through balls. And it's not because of them. It's mostly because we have no creative player on the field to do that for us. In the 4-3-3, so we have those three doing their thing, right? Then we have the three attackers. But the problem with the three attackers is that they're all technically three left wingers. So when they're playing, they all kind of lean to the left, meaning there's never no one in the middle. There's no like Benzema used to be the striker that would hold the ball in the middle. Then last season, that person was Jude. But now that he's not there, there's no one to do that. All our players tend to shift to the left, meaning the right is always empty. But also, there's no one never in the middle. Like if you see how we play, there's a clear gap where Jude Bellingham used to play last season in the team. There is nothing that connects the midfield to the attack. Very clear to see when you watch a team play because we're always just kind of dribbling around their 18-yard box, but nothing ever happens. Like you see Mbappe constantly making runs in behind the defenders, but he never gets the ball. And then we have no midfielder that wants to dribble in. So we kind of just end up doing nothing. We kind of just hope Vinny gets the ball, runs down the line, and then crosses it or scores. That's basically our game plan because we have nothing else to do. So that's why I think we should go back to the 4-3-1-2. This is the way I would line up the team if everyone is healthy. Obviously, the goalie and defense are the same. Now, for the midfield, I will put Valverde right CM, Tchouaméni CDM, and Camavinga left CM. Those would be my starting three, but obviously you can mix and match. Like maybe put Camavinga CDM and Arda as a left CM. But those three would be my starting lineup, and then tweak somewhere along the line. Now, for a center attacking mid, the obvious answer is Jude Bellingham. He was our best player up until the last 2 months of the season last season, so I don't see why we should change him. He's great there. He's perfect there. He does everything there. He can track back, he can attack, he can dribble through, he can pass. He is a perfect attacking mid for this team. Now for our two strikers, obviously we have three attackers that should start for the team right now, but the way this formation plays, obviously sacrifices have to be made. So I decided to put as a strikers Mbappe and Vinny. As much as I love Rodrigo, I think there's a clear difference in quality between Vinny and Mbappe, and then Rodrigo. There's like a tier above. So Vinny's always Mr. Consistent. Mbappe's Mbappe. And Rodrigo, he always tends to kind of lag behind. I would love for him to start, but we have three left wingers, and I don't see how that's going to work out for us at the end of the season. Our team played perfectly when we played 4-3-1-2. When they mastered that, our team was flawless. But it's clear as day that changes need to be made So that's the way I would line up the team. Obviously, like I said, I'm not a coach, but as a fan, that's the ideal way I would look at the team. One thing that I think we can do as well is maybe even drop Drew to left center mid and then put Arda as an attacking mid. If Arda keeps going at this trajectory, he is a pure attacking mid. So maybe playing him there in a couple months or whenever we're playing against easier position to let him grow into that position, that would work too. Because at the end of the day, Jude being a left CM is still great for the team because he, like I said, he can attack and defend. I would leave Brahim on the bench just because I think his value as a super sub is irreplaceable. He brings so much off the bench that I feel like we need to just keep him there and then always bring him on to change the game. Obviously, Rodrigo will do that too because even before that, even before like the past 2 seasons, he was always like, I'll come off the bench type of player. I remember when we won the Champions League in 21-22, our starting right winger wasn't Rodrigo, it was Valverde. So he's always been an impact player off the bench. So obviously he probably won't like that and might ask to leave at the end of the season. But we will see. Regardless, like I said, this is what I think the lineup should be. So let me give you a rundown one more time. So obviously goalie Thibaut Courtois, right back Carvajal, Rudiger and Militao, left back Ferland Mendy. For the center mids, Valverde right CM, Chouameni CDM, Camavinga left CM, attacking mid, Jude Bellingham, and then two strikers, Vinny and Mbappe. Sacrifices have to be made for the team, and for me, it had to be Rodrigo. Thank you for watching. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, please leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Thank you. I'll catch you in the next one.